This message is spoken by a person who's practicing it to a person who's hearing it submissively. That's a genuine guru. It's not complicated. It doesn't mean someone has mystic powers, someone has a cool beard and a cool turban. This is not the qualification of a guru. The qualification of the guru is that he is speaking the message of Bhagavad Gita. He never says he's God. There's some red flags. If a guru says, I'm God, he's not a guru. Prabhupada said, if someone says, I'm God, he's actually dog.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
হরি বল, হরে কৃষ্ণ। তো এক্সপ্লোর উইথ দীপদত্ত চ্যানেলে আজকে আপনাদের স্বাগত জানাই। আজকে আমরা চলে এসেছি আরেকটি নতুন পডকাস্ট নিয়ে। কিন্তু আমরা বোধহয় ভাবি না যে আমাদের প্রতিদিন আমাদের এক একজন মানুষের সাথে যে আলাপ হয় সেটা কিন্তু পূর্ব নির্ধারিত। আমরা ভাবতেই পারি না সেটা। আজকে আমাদের সঙ্গে যিনি উপস্থিত হয়েছেন তাকে আমি আগে কোনোদিন না দেখেছি, না শুনেছি, না চিনি। কিন্তু একমাত্র কৃষ্ণ ভাবনার সাথে তিনি যে চলে এসেছেন আজকে আমাদের স্টুডিওতে, আজ আমরা তাকে শুনব। যারা কৃষ্ণ প্রেমে সর্বদা নিজেদের নিয়োজিত করে থাকে সেরকম একজন ব্যক্তির সাথে আজ আমরা সাক্ষাৎকার করব। এক্সপ্লোর উইথ দীপদত্ত চ্যানেলে আমরা প্রতিনিয়ত অনেক উদ্যোগপতি, অনেক সফল মানুষদের আমরা পডকাস্ট করেছি। প্রতিটি জীবনে আমাদের কাছে সফলতা সেটা কিভাবে নির্ভর করে, কিভাবে আমরা দেখি তার উপর কিন্তু অনেকটা ডিপেন্ড করে। সফলতা বলতে আমরা আর্থিক সফলতা বুঝি, কি আমাদের জীবনের অন্য কোনো সফলতা আমরা আনতে পারি, সেই জায়গাটাও কিন্তু ম্যাটার করে। তো আজকে আমরা এমন একজন মানুষকে পেয়েছি, তার থেকেই আমরা শুনব যে তার জীবনের সফলতা বলতে এক্স্যাক্টলি কি বোঝায়। তিনি আজকে সমস্ত কিছু ছেড়ে তিনি আজকে চলে এসেছেন শুধুমাত্র কৃষ্ণ ভাবনা, কৃষ্ণ প্রেম এটাকে সংগ্রহ করে, এটাকে সম্বল করে তিনি আজকে তার জীবন অতিবাহিত করছেন। তো এরকম একজন মানুষের সাক্ষাৎকার আপনাদের অনেক অনুপ্রাণিত করবে এবং যারা ভক্তজন আছেন তাদের ভক্তিপথকে আরও অনেক বেশি প্রসারিত করবে বলে আমাদের মনে হয়। তো দর্শক শ্রোতা বন্ধুদের বলে দিই, আজকে আমাদের যে পডকাস্টটি হতে চলেছে এটি প্রভুজি বেসিক্যালি উনি বাইরের মানুষ, তো আমি বাংলাতে কথা বলবো, উনি ইংলিশে বলবেন। তো আপনারা অবশ্যই বাংলা এবং ইংরেজির এইরকম একটা সংমিশ্রিত আমাদের এই পডকাস্ট পেতে চলেছেন। তো ধৈর্য ধরে শুনুন। অনেক এক্সপ্লোর করার জায়গা আমাদের জীবনে রয়েছে, আমরা সেই জায়গাগুলো এক্সপ্লোর করতে পারি এক্সপ্লোর উইথ দীপদত্ত চ্যানেলের মাধ্যমে। তো আমরা ওয়েলকাম করে নিই আমাদের প্রভুজিকে। ওয়েলকাম। হরে কৃষ্ণ, হরে কৃষ্ণ। তো আমরা প্রথমেই আমাদের একটা প্রশ্ন যেটা আমরা করতে চলেছি সেটা হচ্ছে যে সাকসেস বলতে আমরা আমাদের জীবনে অনেক রকমভাবে বুঝি। কেউ বুঝি আমরা মানিটারি সাকসেসফুলটাই, মানিটারি আমাদের গেন করা সেটাই সাকসেসফুলনেস, বা মানিটারি গেন করা এটাকেই সাকসেসফুল লাইফ বলে আমরা ভাবি। কেউ আমরা ভাবি যে কিছু মানুষের সাথে আলাপ পরিচয় বা ইনফ্লুয়েন্সিং মানুষদের সাথে আলাপ পরিচয় সেটাকেই সাকসেসফুল লাইফ বলে ভাবি। তো যারা ইস্কনের প্রকৃত ডিভোটি তাদের কাছে সাকসেসফুলের ডেফিনেশনটা এক্স্যাক্টলি কী? তো Prabhuji, you tell me that what is the definition of success in your life, on as a ISKCON devotee's life? What you can say?
So success is something that many people misunderstand. It's generally thought of in the material world that success means having a lot of money, having an ability to enjoy our senses, our eyes, ears, nose, tongue, sense of touch. Sometimes it's seen that success is liberation, becoming liberated from this material world. Sometimes success is seen as being a very good person. All these things are generally defined as success by those who are not in true knowledge of the self. But it is the understanding of the Bhagavad Gita and the Srimad Bhagavatam that success is actually our relationship with God. Success is defined by how we relate with God, because all of these aforementioned types of success are temporary. Even if we make so much money, at the time of death, that doesn't go with us. That doesn't go with the soul.
Right.
If we have so many nice relationships, those also don't go with us. Becoming liberated, or just the desire to become liberated, isn't in itself successful, because one is not yet living a selfless life. So therefore, depending on how we define ourselves, if we define ourselves as a temporary body, we're going to be seeking success in that which is temporary. We find that great billionaires, they have so much money, they have so much wealth, they may have so many beautiful people around them, but they're not successful by my definition because they're not happy. Like I think it was Jeff Bezos, one of the biggest billionaires in the world. He just had a divorce, huge divorce, and very, very painful. So even such a person with so much money is not necessarily happy. So one who is happy can be called successful, but what is real happiness? That should be the question. And I would say that the Bhagavad Gita and the Srimad Bhagavatam teach us that one who has established his relationship with God, that person is successful. It's described, Savai pumsam paradharmo yato bhaktir adhoksaje ahaitukya pratiyata yayatma suprasiditi. So this atma suprasiditi means the complete satisfaction of the soul. And Savai pumsam paradharmo, all the different dharmas in humanity that we do, that's griha dharma, family dharma, whatever type of economic dharma we do, whatever we may think we're doing in human society, it doesn't bring about yayatma suprasiditi. The only thing that brings about yayatma suprasiditi is unmotivated and uninterrupted love for the Supreme Lord or God. When one has unmotivated and uninterrupted love for God, such a person becomes truly happy. And if you achieve that, then there's nothing else to achieve, because whether you're poor, whether you're rich, that internal happiness, which is coming from the eternal part of you, the soul, is sustained, and you're happy. And so even if we lose everything, we're happy. If we have everything, we're happy. And at the time of death, that will follow you. And therefore, one doesn't have to take birth again in this material world. So this human form of life is very special, because the human form of life can ask questions like, what is God? Who am I? Why did I come here? And so success for a dog is eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. Success for a cat, eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. And animalistic human beings also think that way, that if I eat well, if I sleep well, if I have a beautiful partner, and I can defend all of that, my house, my car, all that, then I'm okay. I'm successful, but that's all temporary. Whereas the human being, his success is defined by his ability to understand these truths about the soul, about the eternal soul.
Beautiful. We have learned what is exact successful life meaning. So, Prabhuji, we have not given your intro also. So, in Explore with Deep Dutta channel, you please tell me something about yourself, that how you have become a devotee in ISKCON, and before that, what you have done, like that, so that my people, my audience should understand that how they can also go to the Bhaktipath.
Okay. So my name is Kirtaneshvara Gouranga Das. That means servant of Lord Chaitanya, the Lord of Kirtan. And so I'm a follower of His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. And I live in Tucson, Arizona, and I serve there. I give classes, preach to people, and do various services, arranging programs. I was born in Arizona in the United States as a follower of the Catholic Church, Jesus Christ. And I was very spiritual as a child, always wanted to know about God and was seeking knowledge about God. But by the time I was 13, I became somewhat confused because I found there was a lot of sectarianism. And sectarianism always didn't make very much sense to me. Like, this church is right, this church is wrong, this religion is right, this religion is wrong. And I was seeing that so many religions in the world, they're fighting each other, arguing. And also there are fundamental questions that I think any spiritual person asks, like, why do bad things happen to good people? This was a very, big problem for me. Or if this is the only path to spiritual life, to God, and to enlightenment, what about those who are born, in a different country with a different type of religion? So these questions really plagued me as a child. And so when I was about 12 or 13 years old, I kind of let go of spirituality, let go of kind of the idea of church and God, and I just started, focusing on my grades and so forth. But when I was about 15, I was given a copy of the Bhagavad Gita, as it is, translated by Srila Prabhupada. And I found that within the 700 verses of Bhagavad Gita, every single question I had about spiritual life was answered concisely and completely. Not only did it answer my questions, it also reaffirmed my understanding of all the other spiritual paths and allowed me to respect them and see their the viable nature, how they do bring one to a higher state of consciousness. So this was a very powerful realization, learning about karma and learning how the soul is eternal. So many people in the world, besides excluding Hindus and Buddhists, so many people don't understand that the soul is eternal, and they don't understand that there's reincarnation. So this answered so many questions that, I'm born here because of my past karma. Someone is born there because of their past karma.
Right.
And it's not a one-time thing. It's a lifetime journey over lifetimes. And this answered so many questions, and also, most importantly, it answered the question about the nature of God. Because generally people who are not in knowledge, they project their own misconceptions and own dirty things and unwanted things in the heart onto God. So they make God an angry God, an envious God, a wrathful God. Where when I looked at the cover of Bhagavad Gita, I saw this is Krishna, this is God. Here he is in the middle of a battlefield. This is a giant battle, and he's wearing a flower garland like he's on vacation. In America, they wear flower garlands on vacations. I said, he's so relaxed, he's so happy in the middle of this battlefield. I thought, this is God. And I looked at some of these pictures of Krishna. Krishna is enjoying, he's playing the flute. And he's aloof from these material activities. And so this was such a wonderful relief for me that, God is happy, God is beautiful, God is sweet, God is kind. And so this was a very much attraction. And so I began to read Bhagavad Gita and practice what I can from reading Srila Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita. And then when I was 18 in the college, Northern Arizona University, I met one devotee of the Lord, one direct disciple of His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. And to me, I never met a person like that because I was always looking for these enlightened people, but I never really met a truly enlightened person. And so this was such an amazing experience for me because this person was living like in a way I've never seen anybody live. He was living a genuinely spiritual life, and you can feel that joy and that happiness from him. So I became inspired to try to take that up. And so over the course of the next few years, I practiced the process and tried to improve myself and to engage in that process. And when 2020 came along, I moved into the temple and became a monk.
Oh, great. So I have another question also, Prabhuji, that we have two ways, I think, that you have to, if anyone want to join in Bhaktipath, then two ways is there. One, you have already told that practice you have got something Bhagavad Gita, and after that, day by day, you have improved yourself, and day by day, you have been into the process, and you are right now, you are doing practice, more practice, more practice, more practice. And one process, I think, that is bhav. We can say in Bengali term that bhav means bhav, what we can say, that we can love only and without any reason we can love Krishna. So that's also, I think, we can get from our past karma, and otherwise we can connect by his grace, whatever we can say. So what do you think, that practice is the more comfortable way to join Bhaktipath, or this bhav, whatever I have told till now, so this also can works?
That's a very nice question, and it's very relevant to our teachings and our scriptures. They're not separate; they're one. This is the proper understanding, because every living entity is part of Krishna. Maivamsho jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatana. Krishna explains that all living entities are my fragmental parts and parcels. And so it's a fundamental understanding that every living entity in its pure condition has pure love for Krishna. Nitya siddha Krishna prema. The living entity has pure love for God in his heart. So that means all the trees, the plants, the bugs, every single jiva in existence in the entire creation has this pure love for Krishna. But it's been covered over by the material energy due to innumerable lifetimes of misuse of free will. And so practice is a preliminary stage that's necessary for 99% of living entities. This preliminary stage, because loving God is not so cheap. Love is something misunderstood so much of the time as sentiment. This is why, we've, especially in the West, but also in India, you find that some people, they fall in love, and it's very wonderful. They have a wonderful relationship, then they break up, divorce is happening. Or, two people love each other, then they get in big fight. So how is this love? This is materialistic type of love, or sentiment. Sentiment is good. It's part of love. We're not condemning it. But love actually genuinely means sacrifice. We find that any couple in the material world, husband and wife, that stay together for a long time, they've been angry at each other. They've had so many different experiences, but the main proponent of their relationship is this service attitude. They're serving each other. They're sacrificing for each other. And so love for God is on a much bigger scale. We're sacrificing for God. And so even though this bhav is part of it, it's actually there's 9 stages in bhakti. This is the 8th stage. It's very close to the end before prema, pure love. So this practice stage is a way in which we control our senses, because it's like we don't skip to calculus, we start in kindergarten. And so although the love is there because it's covered over, it's not manifesting in the truest, highest way. So therefore, we think we're this body. That's Krishna's first instruction, Bhagavad Gita. You're not this body. Natvevaham jatu nasam natwamnimi janeti paha. He said, no, you're not this body. Never was there a time when you didn't exist. Never was there a time when you'll cease to be. You're the soul within the body. And so none of us really realize that. We may intellectually understand, I'm not this body. We have some mental conception that I'm not this body. But after we hear the class and we leave the temple, we go about our business like I'm this body. We're disturbed by so many things. We're absorbed in this material activities, and we act on the platform of the body. And so the practice is the beginning stage wherein we regulate our life and we organize our energies, our life energies, in such a way that we begin to realize, I'm not this body, by acting on the platform of the soul. So this is what they call Vaidhi Bhakti. And after practicing this Vaidhi Bhakti for some time, one develops what's called Raganuga Bhakti, which is this bhava, this pure love stage, this spontaneous stage of love. But in the preliminary stage, it's very, very difficult. It's practically unheard of that someone comes to that stage unless they've been for many, many lifetimes previous practicing bhakti, or they're coming from these spiritual dimensions and incarnating. So therefore, we practice regulating our senses. Because if we're indulging in senses, various types of sensual activities consistently, this will cover us over and make us think we're this body. And when we think we're this body, we can't be on the platform of love for God. So therefore, when you practice chanting Hare Krishna and you regulate your life energies in such a way, one automatically is acting on the platform of the spiritual energy. And so therefore all of these misconceptions and bad karmas, they're becoming purified. And we say gradually, but actually it's very fast. It's very, very fast when you consider how long the living entity has been in the material world. You know, innumerable lifetimes, trillions of lifetimes, the living entity has been in this karmic reincarnation cycle. And in one lifetime, if one begins practicing this Vaidhi Bhakti, or what we call sadhana Bhakti, I mean, they're doing a sadhana, they're chanting, they're regulating their lives, then they experience how the soul awakens from its sleep. And then one quickly, within one lifetime, comes to the stage of bhava. But there is a process involved. They're not two separate things. It's a process. Of course, there are circumstances where living entities are born with this very high level, but it's very rare. So in most cases, it's necessary to perform some type of practice.
So whatever till now we have spoken, we have got that one day you have got Bhagavad Gita in your life, and the total game has changed. You were Catholic, from a Catholic family, and from there you have come to Krishna consciousness. You have in your life you have got Krishna consciousness. So thing is this, that is a main popular question also, that all time we want to know that Bhagavad Gita is basically a holistic book or a guidebook in our life.
I'm not sure I understand. Holistic meaning?
Holistic means whenever we are telling that in a taboo in our culture, that if you are telling just like Islam Dharma, then you are getting Quran is their holistic book. In Hindu,
like holy
means,
holy
yes,
book.
Yes.
Okay.
So in Hindu means Gita.
Holy book, yeah.
Yes. So what you can explain, what you want to tell about this?
Well, the Bhagavad Gita is undeniably a holy book because it's the teachings of the Supreme Lord. Bhagavad means God and Gita means song. It's the song of God. And actually, you know, in coming to Krishna consciousness, just from one personal level, there's so many wonderful activities of Krishna. Krishna lifted Govardhan Hill and he fought with so many demons. So many wonderful things Krishna did. But the most amazing thing of Krishna's Leelas to me is that he spoke Bhagavad Gita, because no human being can speak Bhagavad Gita. This is not knowledge of this world. This is spiritual knowledge. No one thought of this. No, it's not a scientist made this up. This is spiritual knowledge coming from beyond. And Krishna explains the origin of the Bhagavad Gita within the Bhagavad Gita. He says that this Bhagavad Gita was first spoken to the sun god, Vivishwan, and it was passed down through the saintly kings. Evam parampara praptam imam rajasahovadu. It was passed through the saintly kings. And in due course of time, sometimes this succession is broken and Krishna reappears to speak the Bhagavad Gita. So it is a holy book, but that doesn't discount other holy books in the world. I'm not discounting the Bible. I'm not discounting even the Quran. They're all guidebooks to lead us to a higher state of consciousness. But the Bhagavad Gita is the most concise and brings us to the end goal. Just like you have a first grade math book,
Yes.
second grade math book, third grade math book. So according to our guna and our karma, where we take birth, a certain guidebook is given for our spiritual development. And the Bhagavad Gita is the last book, is the graduating text. The Bhagavad Gita is capable of taking us from the stage of being totally immersed in material life to being completely liberated in Krishna consciousness. And so in that sense, it is absolutely a holy book. And it is also a guidebook. But it shouldn't be taken as just a series of messages, some type of just normal, mundane guidebook. Because the main message of Bhagavad Gita, and this is something that many false proponents of Bhagavad Gita put forth, that it's a guidebook and it's for, just this and that, and you can take all these nice things from it. But the main point that's being made is that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is such an important point, and Krishna makes this point time and time again, that if you understand this fact,
Right.
then you have this higher level of spiritual knowledge. And Krishna, in fact, says in regards to this, that this is Rajavidya Rajaguyam Pavitamidam Uttamam Pratyak Savagyamam Dharmam Shushukam Kartamavyayam. In regard to this particular element of knowledge that Krishna is God and that you have a loving relationship with him, Krishna says that this is Rajavidya, this is the king of all education. It's the most confidential secret of all secrets. It's the purest knowledge, and it's Pratyak Sav Agimam Dharmam. It's the perfection of all dharma. Why? Because it's Pratyak. It gives you direct perception of God. You don't have to say, I believe in God. Just like in the West, there's so much focus on, do you have faith? Do you have faith? Do you have faith? Faith is a preliminary stage. Yes, I have faith. But after I've had so much experience of Krishna in my life, how can I have faith? It's like, do you have faith? I exist. I'm here. You see me with your own eyes. So this process of bhakti yoga and this process of chanting Hare Krishna and worshiping Krishna allows us to have direct perception that Krishna is God. And therefore one becomes susukam, he becomes very happy, and that happiness doesn't diminish. Now one can say, well, Kirtaneshwar Das, have you seen God?
Yes.
Have you seen Krishna face to face? This is a challenging question. But actually, it's not just a matter of, oh, I've seen God face to face. This is a very high level. But I can give you an example. For instance, if the sun is going to rise, we understand that the sun is going to rise. First off, light is coming over the horizon. The flowers are blooming. We don't see the sun yet, but there's all the symptoms that the sun is rising. So similarly, even in the preliminary stages of bhakti, if one begins to chant Hare Krishna, begins to regulate their lives in such a way, one can have that perception that I will see Krishna because I'm seeing all the symptoms of Krishna and I'm experiencing Krishna. Yet I've not come to the stage of, going to the spiritual world, seeing Krishna face to face, but we understand that that will come. And of course, there are devotees who have been on that stage, and there's so many, we hear about Bivla Mangala and Mirabai and so many different devotees who've come to that stage.
Wow, great. So, till now, we have learned about so many things. We have got you from you. So, thing is this, right now, I have another question. What kind of symptoms you have told just some time ago that a bhakta can understand that there is some symptoms are there, they can understand. So that God is existing or God is coming in his life or her life, whatever.
Very nice question.
So, what kind of symptoms we can get?
Well, there's many different descriptions of that, but what comes to mind in a simple way is our founder Acharya used to speak like this, that one is becoming detached from materialistic life. So Krishna, one great sage, Sutra Goswami, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, he describes Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojitaha Janayat Yashu Vairagyam Gyanam Chayada Haitukam. He says, by practicing Bhakti Yoga unto Bhagavan Vasudev, Krishna, one develops Janayat Yashu. From that, what is born is Jnana, knowledge. Knowledge meaning that one is able to understand that I'm not this body. One is having an understanding that I'm not this body. And Vairagya, meaning they're becoming detached. So this is the miracle of Krishna consciousness, and I think it's even more prominent in the Western world when we see that Srila Prabhupada came to the West. Even in my own life, we have very much, disturbed minds, so much attachment, sometimes drug addiction, all kinds of addictions and various types of bad habits. And there's so much millions of dollars, even billions of dollars spent by governments to stop these problems. But when one comes to the stage of Krishna consciousness, you start chanting Hare Krishna, immediately these things fall away. Immediately one is no longer interested in having, smoking marijuana, all these different activities, eating meat. So one is experiencing a higher taste. One is experiencing a type of happiness that is not available in those materialistic activities. And so a bhakta becomes detached, and he becomes full of knowledge. Similarly, there's a verse in the Bhagavad Gita, Brahma Bhuta Prasanatma, Nasochti Nakangshati, Samasarveshu Bhuteshu Mad Bhaktim Labate Param, that someone who is realizing they're not this body by the process of Krishna consciousness, what's happening is they're becoming Brahma Bhuta. They're becoming spiritually alive. And so Prasanatma means that the soul becomes enlivened. They become happy. Prabhupada, in regards to this verse, he said that one becomes fearless and jolly. So my guru, His Grace Jivananda Das Vanacharya, often says that when you practice Krishna consciousness, two things go away. One of them is fear, and the other is loneliness. These things just cease. And so when one practices Krishna consciousness, they have these experiences where I'm no longer afraid because I know I'm not this body. And nasochi nakangshati, this desire, intense desire, I want this, I don't need anymore. And this lamentation, I lost this, it's not there anymore. And so then one develops some love for all living entities. See, you're a soul, you're a soul, you're a soul. It doesn't matter if you're Indian, American, black, white, male, female, animal, tree, still we have love for you. And then one develops some love for God. So all these symptoms are there.
So, from your life, we have explored that you have got a guru. And after that, you have engaged with Krishna more and more and more. After Bhagavad Gita, you have got guru. So, what is the proper definition? What is the proper qualification we can say about if I want to take a guru? So, then what is the proper qualification we can see?
So that's a very important question, very, very important. But the most fundamental thing to understand about guru, there's so many gurus now. In America, we have these stores down my same street I live, as car guru, computer guru. So many people are saying I'm a guru or this is. But what a genuine guru is, a genuine spiritual guru, is someone who is a representative of Krishna. Krishna explains, Evam parampara praptam imam rajasahovidu sakhaneha mahata yogo nasta parantapaha. So Krishna is explaining that this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita is coming in disciplic succession. And the kings, or the great, he says, in this case, the great saintly kings are receiving it in that way. Sometimes it's lost. So Krishna again appears to reestablish it. So the main point is that a guru is speaking the same message as Krishna. Because we're trying to learn about God. God has given us a fundamental teaching in the Bhagavad Gita. The most fundamental teaching of all. Surrender everything and become God's devotee. Always think of God, love Him, worship Him. This is the message of God. And that He will deliver you from this material world. And so a genuine guru is he who is speaking that message of the Bhagavad Gita. And he who has heard it from his guru, who is speaking that message in the Bhagavad Gita. So it's authoritatively described that there are 4 sampradayas, or disciplic successions, coming from the Supreme Lord. There is the sampradaya coming from Lord Shiva. There's the sampradaya coming from Lakshmi Devi. There's the sampradaya coming from the 4 Kumaras. And there's the sampradaya coming from Brahma. So the ISKCON movement is coming in this sampradaya coming from Brahma. And so this message is spoken by a person who's practicing it to a person who's hearing it submissively. That's a genuine guru. It's not complicated. It doesn't mean someone has mystic powers, someone has a cool beard and a cool turban. This is not the qualification of a guru. The qualification of a guru is that he is speaking the message of Bhagavad Gita. He never says he's God. There's some red flags. If a guru says, I'm God, he's not a guru. Prabhupada said, if someone says, I'm God, he's actually dog. Because we know who God is. Vishnu is God. Or if he's saying something that is not in line with the Shastras. This is also a red flag. Therefore, a guru is someone who is speaking on the basis of Shastra and is teaching on the basis of Shastra, has realized these truths, and is able to speak them to others. This is a genuine bona fide guru. And that he also has a guru. He never says, oh, I'm the supreme guru. He's always submissive to his guru. And so in that way, someone is recognized as a bona fide guru.
So one disciple and guru, how they can, my question is this, that that if anyone is trying to get a proper guru, and how he can get the path, how?
This is a very important question to ask. So, of course, one important element is that, we have to ask Krishna. We should ask God. We can go to God directly. This is just one important practical element, that, my dear Lord, I want to know you genuinely and have that sincere, non-duplicitous desire to know God. And Krishna will send. One element. Another element is don't be blind. There is Bhagavad Gita. There are Shastras. Do some reading on your own. Have some understanding. And listen to this person for some time and see if they're speaking accordingly. And, get to know, do they have a guru? What is their disciplic succession? Is what they're saying according to the Shastra, the teachings of Krishna? And in this way, we can understand that this person is a bona fide guru. And so, therefore, we have to have, first and foremost, our main praman, our main authority is the Bhagavad Gita or the Vedic literatures. But specifically, the Bhagavad Gita is very special, and so is the Srimad Bhagavatam, because these are topmost Vedic literatures. They are presenting the conclusion of knowledge, the conclusion of all the Vedas. And so when we have some knowledge based on that, and we're hearing the factual scriptural truth, then we can understand that this is a bona fide guru, and that this is a person I can follow. I can begin to try to give my heart to serve. So a guru shouldn't just be speaking, I think this, I think that, I feel this, I feel that. A guru should be speaking off the basis of Shastra. The example can be given. There's so many copies of Bhagavad Gita in the United States before Srila Prabhupada came. Right. Yeah. So many so-called gurus came to the United States. They came and they made 1 or 2 followers. They have small followings. Srila Prabhupada came to the United States, and within 12 years, he made so many followers, 5,000 initiated disciples, and now there's millions and millions of people following the teachings of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada never even talked about himself. People know the Hare Krishna movement, they know ISKCON, they know Krishna, but people who are not, familiar with ISKCON, they don't know Prabhupada. So Prabhupada was simply speaking on the basis of Shastra, and he was convincing people on the basis of Shastra. This is the most important element, that he's convincing you on the basis of Shastra, not just because he's charming. Because there's so many people who have charming, or they have mystic powers, yoga siddhis. These things are not prerequisites to understand God. The prerequisite to understand God is being a humble, submissive follower of someone who has understood God, being a follower of your guru and speaking on the basis of the Shastras.
Oh, great. So we have learned so many things, and our learning will be continued. So for 2 days, we are ending our conversation, as because of so many time we have already engaged with this conversation. We have so many questions in our mind also. So if you have also any questions in your life and in your mind, then you can tell us no by message, that, or you can send us mail also. In future, we have associated with ISKCON President Acharya Ratnam Prabhuji. So we can get from him and we can deliver that response also. So if you want, you can join with us, Explore with Deep Dutta channel, and you can join with Bhagavan Sri Krishna also. So Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you for your so valuable time with us. So I am very much delighted for this session, whatever I am getting from you and whatever I have got in this moment from you.
Thank you very much. I'm also delighted.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.